Welcome back to the wonderful world of Equestria. And I found something out. You're apparently only like my videos when I start singing, so welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Yeah! Whoa! Who? What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again, yo. That's gonna be it for today. Alright, where were we? We are working on our research slot based on the friendly help of the Buffalo Chiefdom. Princess Luna is trying to bring the Thestrals, the fourth tribe, into the fold. And her quote-unquote disciples are planning a coup. And it'll be only a matter of minutes until we know if we have a civil war or if we all can be in peace and harmony. What can we be? There we go again. Too many old songs in my head. The campaign continues. Luna stood in the Manhattan Auditorium, resplendent in a shimmering dress of gravitas and majesty. The city's most influential crowd in Rarity's contacts had worked wonders. Show them your true strength, darling. Luna nodded to Rarity and stepped onto the stage. She wanted to tremble and collapse, but remembered, even if she failed, she would still have a friend. My little ponies. For millennia, Equestria had been a land of friendship. It was friendship that drove the Wendigos out, that bound the three tribes into the nation of Equestria, and that saved me from my insanity. Today, friendship had saved us from Tyrek, from Discord, from Queen Chrysalis. It is thanks to friendship I have the strength to stand here today. When bad ponies are accused of being Nightmare Moon cultists, where is our honesty? When we are shunned from mainstream society, where is our kindness? When we hoard the bounties and wealth of the New Age, where is our generosity? When we turn away those who once lived among us, where is our loyalty? When we cringe in fear rather than smile as friends, where is our laughter? Luna gazed around the moon, regal and confident. The room hung on her every word. This is not friendship, yet some would call it so. I ask the ponies of Manhattan for help. We must hold true to our values before the magic of friendship is lost. Across the nation, we must organize to fight any who would dare to call this friendship. Fight for Thestral friendship. To show Equestria what true friendship looks like. And this, my friends, is what we will do. And with this, the Manhattan Project is beginning. Following Courage shared Luna's passion as he left the speech. The young ponies of Manhattan were energized. How could they not support this change that was long overdue? He headed for his regular drinking spot, a small pub where his Equestria Equality, Empathy and Education activists group had weekly meetups. Luna's call for friendship has changed something. How long had they spent on long-winded intellectual debates? Equestria was a land of friendship, and that was how they would change the world. Ponies talked cheerfully of their goals, to change the mind of a friend or family member, to not stay silent when they saw wrong, to visit isolated Thestral communities and organize exchange programs, but most importantly, to be the kind of ponies that Luna wanted. Following Current worked hard to keep it all organized, helping ponies to turn their ideas into actions. He wished he had more time to give, But he had his job at the power station. Instead, he worked long into the night. Once Luna had mourned that Pony slept through her beautiful night. But in this city that never slept, Luna had many friends, and he arrived home to find a letter. Which comes more than just 1 day late. Ooh, he's working hours. Meanwhile, in the mountains, evening fell across the land of bad ponies, huddled eagerly around the village radio, squeaking curiously as Luna's voice carried through the air. Is this friendship? No. Flapping her tiny wings, Night Blossom hopped around excitedly. Mama, Mama, the princess is talking about us. Horizon nodded patiently. Yes, she is. But why? Why don't the other ponies want to be our friends? Why is Luna helping us? Dusk Horizon sighed. Over 1,000 years ago, Luna was our princess. She lived at night as we do and made the night wonderful. She loved us and we loved her, but we didn't tell her. We complained about the other ponies instead, about how many they were. They didn't like our night or our bat wings. And Luna grew lonely and sad. Because we failed her, she transformed into Nightmare Moon for a long time, becoming angry and evil. The ponies got very scared of the night after that and chased us into the mountains, where we have stayed ever since. Night Blossom's face scrounged up, considering this. We should help Luna. Then I want to go see the princess. She continued to bounce around, squeaking at the notion, making short gliding hoops. Soon, Dusk thought, she would be able to properly fly at night. The door opened, and a somber-looking bat pony entered. He dumped his pack and rifle at the door, collapsing into a couch. How did the meeting go, Silent? What did the clan decide to do about Dusk? Silent Peaks nodded. We decided to... I think I'm gonna go for support Luna, because if they stand too... We just learned if they hold back too much, Luna gets, you know, a little bit wonky, so... Let's show her that the Thestrals appreciate what Luna is doing for them and go out on the street, be visible, not just hiding away and waiting until Equestria comes to greet them, but also, you know, move a bit towards them. Never again. Silent Peaks nodded. Of course we will be there for her. We will stand by her and show Equestria we do the same. He glanced at his rifle. And just to be safe, the mountain holes will prepare, in other words. Dusk flinched. Is this really that bad? Maybe. Some of our ponies are having strange dreams. Luna seems very stressed. We've been receiving new weapon shipments from well-wishers in Equestria. If something bad happens, we could intervene or hide out here. Night Blossom began to demand attention. You're helping Luna? Can we go to the city? I want to see her. Silent considered. It would be good for you to meet our princess. Yes, you can go with your mother, but be on your best behavior. Night Blossom leaped, delighted, making another attempt at flight, knocking over a chair in the process. Luna! 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 Silent turned back to Dusk. We can't fail her again. We've paid for our mistake for 1,000 years. Never again. Bags were packed, wings stretched. The bats were going to Manhattan. It will be different this time. I hope so. So let us be your friends. That's just one tiny little problem. If we got the... Oh no, it should work, because the Alicorns could be the 5th race. So if, You know, 3 factions say this. There's only 2, because if you got 4 factions, you'll kinda likely end up in some sort of stalemate, which could be a problem. Do we need more resources? No, we don't. Civilian factories? Not really. What else? Naval dockyards. I think we are alright. It's time to work on our friends in the north. Let's hold some games. Let's have a little... Wait, what's over to the right? I forgot already. Oh, it's military stuff. But I think some of this is... Yeah, it's locked behind war progression and those things, but that's not yet relevant, so let's have some fun and games. Also, I recruited a new spy pony. Where are you, my friend? There he is. He's called Tiny. He's a seducer. Oh, he's a stallion. And he's not just from Italian. How's it looking? We could increase harmony with the dragons. You know, just to do something and increase. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Boost ideology. Oh, we need an intelligence. Oh, yeah, we can send them to the dragons. Just I can send them to the Badlands. Oopsie. Let's see how he tries to pretend he be a dragon. Mountain duty. Sergeant Silverspear throw down his poker hoof in disgust. We're in Celestia's damn middle of bad country on some godwill mission, and now it's turned into a wild chase for stolen weaponry, and on top of, our baby lieutenant is collecting my entire paycheck. Lieutenant Purpleheart smirked, sweeping in the bits. And whose fault is that? And besides, bets are unavoidable. It's all they can talk about in Canterlot. And I wouldn't even be surprised if we find some overeager Bat clan has pilfered these weapons for a skirmish with the rogue Diamond Dog. Silverspear grumbled assent. Things are nice for 1,000 years, and then Luna comes in, wants to make her mark. Easy for her to say, it's poor old me who gets sent up a mountain. Purpleheart raised her eyebrows. You're not gonna vote for it? I want to hear Celestia's opinion on it before I choose. She's been quiet about the whole thing. We do need to fix things with the bats. It's just... He waved his mug of cider. You can't just make ponies into friends. With a vote. You know? He leaned closer. It's not like the bats are perfect. Have you seen the crazies down in the jungle? They're still worshipping Nightmare Moon down there. And some of them are coming up here. Purpleheart opened her mouth to answer, but was interrupted. A bird call rang out. The scout had called. The weapons had been found. Ponies! Reach for their guns! They moved quickly, following the signal. Cresting a rise, they arrived to a strange sight. No light shone, yet somehow they could see in the darkness. Bat ponies knelt, their eyes gleaming strangely, chanting, Night Moon, hidden ruler of Equestria, may the darkness hide us as we embrace your darkness within ourselves. Silverspear swore quietly in disbelief. Actual cultists? Purpleheart stood, shouting. Well, this is the Equestrian army. You are surrounded. Put down your weapons and put your hooves on the ground. Instead, the cultists dived for the guns, and the fighting began. Several minutes later, Purpleheart, wounded but standing, anxiously searched the wreckage of the camp. Most of the cultists had fled in the confusion. Silver, now the image of professionalism, arrived.
We can tell the clans about this, they will hunt the rest. What surprises me is the equestrians here. Earth ponies, unicorns, Pegasi. Support the Nightmare Moon? How is that possible? And why did they fight? Even cultists usually don't fight the army.
Purple Heart shuffled through papers and maps. Her ears flattened with anxiety. Worse! They are planning a massive attack on Weediopolis! Soon! The passes are filled with these cultists! We need to warn the princess! Silver Spear shook his head.
We may not arrive in time, even if we travel in force. We should stay here, lie these cultists. We can keep them bogged down with fighting and protect the cities until reinforcements arrive.
Purple Heart flicked her tail nervously, indecisive. Finally, she spoke. No, we must warn Celestia. Because I think it may be necessary in order to... It's metagaming, I know. But I think some suspicion needs to be if there is absolutely no reason, no suspicion about the background plot. Even Luna may be surprised by a sudden attack on her behalf. Like, she wouldn't just to be... Everybody needs to be friends, and suddenly in the background they are amassing a revolutionary army. Which is not what Luna wants, at least not in my world. And good golly, the voice of Silver Spear is hell on my throat. Especially in this dry... Yeah, I got a humidity of maybe about 35%. It's real freaking dry. I can't drink enough. It's just... Oh, then this croaking. Good grief. Whoops, I paused before I clicked, but I clicked, warn Celeste. Though it's going over, and we are close to building our final railway upgrade. I can't wait to build. Ooh, we got our 4th research slot. I could go for some enemy magic companies, but I could... Well, I could do with pretty much everything, and that's my most favorite one. Field Hospital. Gotta save your ponies. Otherwise, your ponies will be gone in no time. Oop, wrong one. Supply is important too, but I got the industrial base, so I should be able to build a lot of infrastructure down over towards the western side of the lands. How long? Oh, equestrian games take some time, so let's wait. The Millionaire March. Ponies across the nation marched in candlelight vigils on the eve of the referendum. At the center of it all, Luna stood in Manhattan, the nation looking on. The polls were promising, but still Luna fretted. The dream would live or die here. Luna approached the podium and looked at the crowd. Ponies smiled and laughed. A small pet pony. Billy was curiously approached by some Pegasi foals. Alright, I guess a filly is a female pony? A female foalan? I don't know. Activists chanted, hooves entwined, and in the front row, Rarity smiled encouragingly. Tomorrow, we vote on laws, on ideas, and on decrees. I do not know what will happen, but I do know that far more important than any change of law is the change in our hearts. What use is a law if it is ignored? What use is a smile that is forced? What use peace founded on exclusion? I once asked you, what had happened to equestrian friendship? She gestured towards the crowd. It stands before me. This cause has brought us together and formed friendships that will transform our nation and make our dreams possible. No vote, no law can change what we have created here tonight." The crowd cheered in approval and joy. Luna smiled. She had spent her life demanding, asking, and failing to get friends. Now she focused on helping others, and she stood with thousands of friends. The moon shone bright across the city, and deep within, a burden lifted, a shrieking, hateful rage, fading by the minute. This was how it was meant to be. A shining light washed over the crowd as the bomb beneath the stage exploded. Wait, what? Blood moon. The bomb tore through the stage and shockwaves hurtling Luna to the ground. Chaos, screaming, confusion. Ponies screamed, screeched and shouted. Bad ponies took to the air in fear, with a few brave ones rushing to assist Luna. And in the center of the charred rubble, Luna got to her feet, injured but alive. Before her, in the front row, members of the audience writhed in pain, and there was Rarity, her pure white coat charred black and clothed with blood. A dark red rage grew in Luna, and the gentle pale light of the moon grew blood red, demanding stillness. Somehow, the world obeyed. Silence replaced screaming. Pegasi and bat ponies hung in the air, wings paused in mid-flight. The frozen crowd stared helplessly at the black-blue mare bathed in the red blood moon. In the crowd, Dusk Horizon stood with her daughter and tried to screech in terror, but no sound came. The blood moon. Not their dreams realized, but their nightmares manifest. Luna stood swirling with magical anger, not the petty rage of a jilted child, but the zealous fury of a crusader. Her speeches had failed. Her friend lay dead. The world was broken and filled with injustice. Luna would destroy those who dare make it so. Her eyes began to narrow as she pulled forth power with reckless abandon. A familiar darkness crept into her thoughts. "Hello, my old friend. It's time you went away. This is not the way." Ooh, looks like I screw up. The new moon rises. Luna briefly resisted the darkness, but quickly yielded to its familiar embrace. Her friend was gone. What was the point? Luna, no, Nightmare Moon stood before the crowd whole. And with wholeness came the memories, the Canterlot military codes, the entranced disciples, the stockpiled weapons, and the careful planned instructions. Oh, she had been used, hadn't she? Nightmare Moon began to laugh, but froze as Rarity's body moved. She was alive. Rarity croaked, "Luna, this isn't friendship. Remember?" Rarity coughed through wrecked from burned, struggling to speak. Nightmare Moon struggled. "Yes, friendship. This was why she fought." She sent a healing wave of energy across the crowd, treating the worst of the injuries, and addressed them. "Ponies, this horror is not friendship. Terrorism is not friendship. Violence is not friendship. We gave Equestria everything, and yet they have turned away from friendship. We must bring friendship to Equestria, even if by force." The moon seemed to throb, and across Equestria ponies knew the time promised in their dreams had come. The blood moon claimed, and the ponies begin to move. The night must rule. The cause. Following currents, Limp began to move again as Luna's healing magic washed over the crowd. He couldn't believe it. Some reactionary had attempted to assassinate Princess Luna. She had emerged blackened and angry, but alive. A week ago, an anonymous letter had instructed him that a terrible tragedy would occur and he would be needed at the power station, but he hadn't believed it. He, the great organizer, was now in the wrong place at the wrong time. He launched into the air, racing the city to the power station. In the streets below, gunfire rang out. Now they were making a grab for Manhattan. He pushed his wings, aching as he pulled into land at the station's entrance. Flashing his ID to a bewildered security guard, he sprinted for the boiler room. The Princess of the Night needed every advantage she could get. In front of him stood an emergency trip. With a station this large, it would take hours to properly restart. With luck, power fluctuations would trip other stations too. Flowing current took a deep breath. Some would call this treason, but true justice requires doing what was right, no matter what others thought. He closed his eyes and whispered a silent prayer. Please, let the night rule, just for this one day. He punched the buttons, and the lights of Equestria winked out. The calling. Misty Night lay in her bed, listening to the radio. Luna spoke righteous truth, but ponies couldn't understand. The radio signal cut out. Misty Night leapt to her hoofs, diving for her rival under the floor. This was the moment promised in her dreams, the moment they had all trained for. And indeed, suddenly, the moon seemed to triple, and deep within her soul, she felt its call. Nightmare Moon is awakened. It was time. She frowned. But the light still blazed. She chided herself. She must be patient. She began to pray. Nightmare Moon, Princess of Night, Princess of Dreams, please bless me, your faithful disciple, for what I am about to do. A minute passed. The crack of gunfire rang outside. Still, Misty waited. The lights winked out, and the city was plunged into darkness. She grinned, looked around the room. She could still see, for she was blessed of the moon. She lifted her rifle and sprinted out into the darkness, as thousands of others across Equestria did the same. For Nightmare Moon, for Goddess of Equestria. The Thestrals. The crowd stood in the night air, candles held aloft. Silent peaks huddled around the radio as it relayed Luna's speech. Luna was actually doing it. Night Blossom could have had a good future in New Equestria. A fair Equestria. And then the radio went out, and the explosion thundered in the distance. The crowd scattered, bat ponies taken to the skies in panic, screeching. The moon's light faded. Silent collapsed in shock. If Luna had died, the bat ponies were sure to follow. But then the moon began to glow, not a calm white, but a deep blood red of rage and sadness. It shimmered, and Silent felt the call deep within. Luna was alive, and she needed their help. He rallied his volunteers. Many cried even as they obeyed, the dreams of peace shattered. Once asked, "But what if it's Nightmare Moon?" The others nodded, hesitating. Silent himself barely held back the tears. He needed to stop this kind of talk immediately. He grabbed the pony by the collar, shouting, "It doesn't matter if it's Luna. We'll help our princess. If it's Nightmare Moon, Equestria will try to imprison or expel every single bat pony. Do you think they would just forgive us?" His voice dropped to a whisper, trembling. "Do you understand
It doesn't matter. He looked at each of them in turns. We fight, or we die.
The light winked out, and the bat ponies charged into the night. For Princess Luna, we will not fail her! Civil War. The nation is in chaos. Broadcasts from Manhattan report of an assassination attempt on Princess Luna by anti-bat pony groups, who were thought of unsuccessfully by bat ponies and local militia. Luna has taken to the air, warning that Celestia has gone mad, attempting to oppose bat pony equality, and that as a result she had no choice but to assume governance. Celestia and Canterlot administration appear to have been taken totally off guard, as many awoke to find a well-coordinated change of power had taken place in many cities, government buildings occupied, soldiers receiving orders to defend Luna from terrorists, and objectors arrested. Canterlot and the West remains controlled by Celestia, and as the reality of the situation sinks in, war appears inevitable. Equestria and her subjects are divided. Shall we support Celestia or Luna, or perhaps manage one of the subject states during these trying times? We will go with Celestia, we will go for harmony, because I'm not really sure that if we side with Luna we can still go for harmony, or if we are just, bound to some sort of suprematist, raging, destroy everything cause of play. So, Celestia it is. This is my second choice, because the first time I wanted to move the picture a little bit out of the way and watch, and my overly sensitive mouse button clicked on Maryland. So, Celestia it is. That's also why the date has changed. It's now fired on the 9th of November. The last time I think it was the 8th. What have we lost? We got most of our armies, which is nice. Our coastal gods got expelled, which means
our
we got
must be preserved.
Quite a lot of troops running around, and there are still more that are
Magic makes us strong.
not yet part of an army, so you can... Ooh, whoa, there's a lot. How's this calculated? We are at 0, and I can call in all my... Good grief, this war is massive. Well, I screwed up, and it was a long day. So I will still keep it as one episode because, well, it's really gripping and my voice is dying. So I hope you enjoyed me throwing myself against this block of text. And now we are at the core. We are at war. Bye bye.